Okay, we're live for the big show here on Traveling with Bruce. How you guys doing? Welcome to the channel today. It's nice to have you here. It is January the 31st, the last day of January 2022. It's good to have you here. Welcome one and all. I hope wherever you are doing well and you're safe and you're taking care of yourselves. Got a little bit of news today and just updates and what's going on, and hopefully you're doing well. Let me know where are you watching me from, and if you are giving us a thumbs ups today, and I hope you can, let us know what number thumbs up you are. Just that helps me figure out how many thumbs ups we've got going tonight. Thank you all for popping in from basically around the world. It's nice to have you here. I'm here in Palm Desert, California with Jennifer. We're enjoying it immensely, as you can imagine. It's been just a treat to be here since last October. We are scheduled to be here to the end of the month, the end of February, and we will board a plane on the 28th of February, and we're going to fly quickly to Vegas for a 3-night stay. And then we leave Las Vegas and we're heading to Calgary again. We're going to be back in Calgary. And we have secured accommodations in both locales. In Vegas, we're going to be hanging out at the Luxor Theater, the Luxor Casino. You know the Luxor? That's the building that's shaped like a pyramid on the end of the strip, way down on the southern end of the strip. Used to be near the end of town. Now the town just keeps on going. But anyway, I think we're near the Vegas side. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, we're going to be at the Luxor, and instead of being in a regular kind of a room, we've upgraded ourselves into well, I'll call it a suite. I think we're at 800 square feet. I think we're in something like a one-bedroom apartment kind of a accommodation in the Luxor. I've never been in the Luxor before, but we got this room for like $150 or something like that. It was such a deal. I needed the extra space to do my shows from so that I don't interfere with Jennifer. I didn't want to be in a small little room with a bed and a night table and then have Jennifer worry about, making noise and stuff. So we got one of these larger units where I'm going to be out in the dining room area and she can walk about without anyone seeing her. It's going to be great. She's really happy. I'm happy. But as it turns out, it's going to have to be that when we're on the air with you, not next week or the week after, this is now 4 weeks from now. So I'll give you plenty of warning, but we're not going to be on the air on that Monday, March the 1st, from with you. It'll be, or no. February the 28th is a Monday. We're not going to be on the air Monday the 28th. We're traveling that day. We're going to be on the air Tuesday, the 1st of March from Las Vegas. So I'm looking forward to doing the show from there. And I'm not sure what kind of a view we'll have out the window. I'll show you if there is one of the strip, and we'll kind of go from there. So that's our trip to Vegas. It's just a quick 3-day stopover, and I'll be on the air the Tuesday and the Wednesday night from Las Vegas. And then on the Thursday, the 3rd of March, we fly to Calgary from Las Vegas. And Jennifer and I have figured out our accommodations in Calgary. This has been a real interesting dilemma for us because this is our hometown. Have you ever tried to look for accommodation in your hometown? It's kind of weird to do that when you're visiting. You're only there for a while and you want to visit. I find it weird to book a hotel in my hometown. I just find it weird, but I don't want to put anybody out either because how it is after 2 or 3 days, the fish starts to smell and you got to go. So we were thinking we need a place to stay for March and probably April. And turns out, very good friends of ours are flying from Calgary to Phoenix. They're leaving this coming weekend. They're heading south. And we happen to be heading north. And they're saying to us, well, why don't you just stay in our house? We're not going to be there. We're going to be down in our place in Buckeye, Arizona. We got our winter place. We'll be there. Why don't you take the house? And then this way, We don't have to send our children to the house every second or third day to make sure that the plumbing didn't break and that everything is working and all this stuff. And so we thought, you know what? We'll stay in their house for those 2 months. They said it's free. You just there's no, you just feed yourselves. We got food in the fridge, but you can always buy your own stuff. Just stay in our house and watch our TVs and do your shows from there, Bruce. It's no charge whatsoever. You're babysitting our house. And I thought, well, that's a good offer. The house is 3,600 square feet. It's a huge, huge place. We're going to be in a gigantic house in Calgary, but we thought, well, what the hey, we'll rough it. So we're going to go from a condo here in Palm Desert, California. That's about 1,600 square feet down to a tiny little 800, 900 square foot suite in Las Vegas, roughing it all the way. And then we end up in a 3,600 square foot house for 2 months in Calgary. I tell you, Jennifer and I can't get away from each other. We're just so just cramped in. It's unbelievable. I tell you, it's wild, it's wacky. You never know how things work out. You just never know. Now from there, we're going to need some suggestions because we're thinking, at least I'm thinking, and I'm trying to sell Jennifer on this idea. What we're thinking about now is we're thinking of Europe as our next adventure, and so sometime in May, it might be about the 10th of May, the 15th of May, somewhere in that time frame, we might head ourselves to Europe from Calgary. And we'll fly probably to Heathrow as an example. And then from Heathrow, you can go anywhere you want. Well, we're trying to figure out what kind of a trip would we put together if we went to Europe, landing on the 15th of May, let's say, and all of the rest of May, all of June, and all of July. What if we did 2.5 months Europe, and we wanted to get in a river cruise, a Mediterranean cruise, and a British Isles cruise, along with some mainland time? How should we do it, and where should we do it from? And over to you guys. You guys think about it and let me know between today's show and maybe next week's show. Give me some suggestions on what would you recommend we do. Should we buy a rail pass in Europe for a bit? Or should we just fly from UK, London, right down to, say, Malta? Or should we fly to Palermo? Or should we go right to Rome and see some of Italy, then get on a Mediterranean cruise and then get off the ship? And I don't know where. Do we get off the ship in Barcelona? And do we now do some train travel and whatnot, sightseeing in Spain and France, perhaps, over to Switzerland, Austria, do a river cruise in Austria, Switzerland, Germany, France, something like that, a 10, 14-day river cruise. And then from that, would we take a train ride to Berlin, which is a must? We must spend some time in Berlin. And then do we train it over to Hamburg and then over to Amsterdam, and then we go across to Southampton? And do we get on a ship from Southampton that does the British Isles and perhaps Ireland? And what do you guys think? You guys are travelers. Why not? Why should I do all the work? I'm on the air all the time. You guys figure out. You tell me what the trip should be. I'd like to get in 2 cruises and a river cruise and a bit of Europe at the same time with a rail pass. How about that? Oh, and I've always had a thought of spending some time at a spa over there. Jennifer thinks it's a fat farm. I'm thinking it's one of these European spas where you get the rub downs and you get the mud baths and you get the treatments and they watch your caloric intake. I guess it is a fat farm. I don't know. I'm thinking of more of a pampering place rather than a drill sergeant kind of a place. And maybe we do that for a week or something like that. Hey, over to you. Any suggestions? You guys let us know what you think about this. Amicus is here, giving us a thumbs up. How you doing there, buddy? Claywood is here. Yeah, how is everybody doing? Seize the day. Laval, we are a little busy in Ottawa, Canada, but dreaming of when I can cruise again. Oh, I'm glad I'm not in your town right now. What a mess. Ken, good evening, Bruce, and all from Janet and Ken in Saginaw, Michigan. The temperature is 23 degrees here. Gasoline is up to $3.40 a gallon here, and we're expecting snowstorm Wednesday and Thursday. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not there. Ken and Jenny, you guys take care of yourself. Jeannie, hello, Bruce, and all TWBers. Bill and Jeannie are here for the big show. Love you guys. Thank you, Jeannie from East Tennessee, for being here, and of course, a sponsor member of this channel. Thank you, Jeannie, so much. Nathan, I hope everyone is doing great. 19 days to go for a 7-day cruise on the Norwegian Escape. That's going to be great. We had snow again over the weekend in Asheville area. Gas is around $3 a gallon. Nathan is saying, I am thumbs up, number 8. Colleen is here. Hello, Colleen. Hello, TWB family. Hope everyone is safe and warm. Welcome. Eddie Albert is here saying we are safe. We're number 10 thumbs ups, by the way, Bruce. Robert is here. Hello, Bruce from snowy Boston. Have you booked a cruise this year? Getting ready to start thinking about European cruising and river cruising. We're just as I was mentioning. Sylvia, hi, Bruce. Greetings from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm number 10. Donnell, hi again, Bruce. I'm number 18. You're up to 18 thumbs ups already. Adventures Duncan, I'm number 10. I got too many number 10s. FX45, I'm number 19, buddy. Thank you for being here. Kate PM is number 15. Greetings from Naples, Florida. 36 Fahrenheit this morning. Oh my goodness, that is ridiculous. Heading to 80 tomorrow. That's a little more like it. Yikes. Sylvia, there are 3 number 10s. This is impossible. Let me get on the laptop instead of using this phone. Andy Coleman. Hey, Bruce, it's been a while. Hope you are well. It's 42 degrees in Des Moines and just booked a cruise for June. I can't wait. I can't blame you, buddy. Way to go. Welcome, my friend. It's nice to have you here. I have no idea who this is and what that means. Jeff, Austin, Texas. I'm number 27. Ann Rogers. Hi, Bruce. Number 20. Ann and Brent, Ancaster, Ontario. Winter storm coming Wednesday. So I hear you're going to share it with Michigan. FX, I need a boat ride in a bad way. Sylvia, very nice friends to let you stay in their house for free too. What a bargain. Rocky, I'm number 26, Bruce. You've got 26 thumbs ups and counting. MG Toes here. Rue, be careful. I owned a hotel, Vegas. It's full of criminals. There you go. Kirk, hey, Bruce and TW family. Kirk from the Big Apple is here. Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel. Thanks, buddy. Eddie Albert, come to Charlotte. 4,000 square foot house. All upstairs is open for you. Hang out all you want. Sandy, good evening. All warmed up to, only warmed up to 12 below Celsius in Medicine Hat, Alberta today. And then it snowed again. To give you an idea how cold that is, that's approximately 20 degrees colder than 32 Fahrenheit. That's like 12 Fahrenheit, I would have to think, Celsius. If I got that right, at least 20 degrees. Oh, yeah, it's cold. 10 degrees Fahrenheit, it's cold. I wouldn't go out into it because I'm in the hospital with pneumonia. I will be a much shorter stay. I want to get back. Sandy, you take care of yourself and do what the doctors tell you to do. Get out of there. Wendy, question, do you think boosters will be required for June's Symphony of the Seas cruise? That's a very good question. I do not know the booster situation with cruise lines. I don't know what they're going to say. Sylvia, now I'm number 32 on my other device, laughing out loud. Eddie, yes, Brit Rail Pass, see the United Kingdom. That's a good idea. Louise, I can see you love Jennifer. And Jennifer, I recommend you enjoy good food with your family. Thank you. Whitecap is here. Try the Greek side of Cyprus. A lot of Roman, Greek, etc. sites. They are amazing. Now, see, there's good advice there. Sylvia, every Friday through Saturday for the past 3 weeks, we have been having a winter storm here. Robert, check out Rick Steve's travel videos and books. He has a lot of terrific info on Europe. He sure does. Jeff Rochberg, thumbs up for you, buddy. Super Robert Willis, how you doing? You're welcome to stay at my house when you come to London. How about that? Rocky, how about a repositioning cruise next May from Florida to Rome? Then when you're done with Rome, you rent a car, you see. Larry Blake, number 38, thumbs up. Sandy Robinson, I'm thumbs up 32 and 33. How about this? Whitecap, we are in Leicester, UK We got two cruises booked: Jamaica to Dubrovnik in April on TUI, and the on the NCL Star around England. Nice, nice. MG2 off topic just came out. ATIP amended statement of ownership. Interesting. Robert Bland, Bruce, it's 8 degrees here in Boston. It's 8 degrees here in Boston. I just booked my Bermuda cruise in July on the NCL Gem. Now you got your brain in the right place in the right time. Yikes for Boston, beautiful place, but it's cold. Nikki, construction has started on the Creston BC Tesla supercharger. Oh, fantastic. We don't live there anymore, but if we ever visit with the Tesla, we know where to get a charge from Creston. Fantastic. Speaking of Teslas, Jennifer and I are now driving around town here in a Model Y. This is a Tesla that is the small SUV version of the Tesla. We've had two different Model 3 sedans. Now we're in a Model Y SUV, and it's kind of neat too. Benway, thank you for your work. Thank you, Benway23, for your kind words. I do appreciate it. Those of you who are here from around the world, say hi to us. Let me know if you're giving us a thumbs up. What is your thumbs up number tonight? Lee Shear, he's number 40. We got 40 thumbs ups already. I've only been yapping here for 15 minutes. This is fabulous. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's great to have you. I don't have a ton of news. I have a little bit of news here, a little bit of news there. Just got the word, just came out a few days ago from Royal Caribbean, the Wonder of the Seas. This is the fifth, I believe the fifth version of the Oasis class of cruise ship, the largest ships in the world. Royal Caribbean has just taken delivery of the Wonder of the Seas from the shipbuilders. The ship is going to sail to the U.S., heading for Fort Lauderdale for March the 4th. So in about, 5 weeks or so, 5.5 weeks. The ship is going to do some 7-night cruises throughout the Caribbean for the balance of the winter and the spring. And then for the summer of this year, the ship will be sailing out of Rome and Barcelona on a series of European cruises. So the Wonder of the Seas will be in North America, then we'll be in Europe, and we'll figure out it'll probably go back to Florida. And that just gives me an idea that if the ship is going over to Europe, I might do a cruise on that ship in Europe. Maybe I can do a Mediterranean cruise with Jennifer on Wonder of the Seas. I'll have to check it out, see if there's any good deals over there. I don't know. Well, we'll find out what's going on. Bullcraft Mask, hi Bruce. Hope you're staying safe and glad everything is going well on the Stock Market Channel. You are amazing. Thank you, Bullcraft Max, for your kind words. It is much appreciated. Other news from Princess Cruise Lines. So found out that Princess has now taken delivery of the Discovery Princess. Now, this is the last of the 6 Royal class ships that have been built, starting with the Royal Princess. This ship is coming to Los Angeles. That's where it's headed, to LA. It is going to offer a series of sailings March and April from LA to Mexico. And then after April, the plan is to head up to Seattle and run up the Alaska area to do Alaska cruising for this summer. That is the plan from April, May, June, July, August, and so on. 3,660 passenger capacity. Princess and the shipbuilders have perfected the Royal class. All the kinks are out of these ships now. This is the 6th one. They figured out how they run and how they best are operated. And usually when they finish off the last of these versions of ships, they've got it down to a science. Same thing with the Wonder of the Seas for Royal Caribbean, with being the 5th Oasis class version. You know that the kinks have been worked out of those first 4 already, and this one is on her way. So good stuff. I did read today that Carnival was doing another share offering of stock. The first impression I got was that they're going to raise $500 million and probably use that towards towards debt and so on and capital. But then I found out, reading a little later on, I read some more news about the ship, the dough, the money coming in for the cruise line is actually not going to be used for ships and anything like that. It's going to be used to buy up stock that's already outstanding. And now I'm completely confused because I'm thinking, well, why would a cruise line go to a stock brokerage firm in New York, which I think it's BMO Markets? Why would you go to these guys and hire them to sell stock from your treasury, $500 million worth, and then turn around and buy a bunch of stock back from existing shareholders with that money? I couldn't. I was having trouble putting my head around it, and I thought about it for a while, and I thought, well, it's possible that if they go to a brokerage firm and say, "Hey, look, we want to sell $500 million of the stock, but we don't want the stock to go into the market and just drive down the price. If you could find us buyers that were willing to buy this stock, maybe there's 10 buyers that will each want $50 million worth of stock. We can do it at a set price, not affect the market at all, and the stock will go into institutional investors that will hold it for 5 or 10 years as everything recovers." That might be the plan. In the meantime, the company now has this cash and they can now buy up stock on the open market, stock that is just floating around out there, and they can buy up chunks of 500 million bucks worth of shares, tightening the loose float, the shares that are always changing hands all the time. They buy up $500 million of loosely trading stock, and they buy that as a corporation, and then they cancel the certificates. At the end of the day, there are just as many shares outstanding for the company. They haven't diluted the company at all. They've just done a switcheroo. They've turned $500 million of free floating stock into $500 million of well placed stock that isn't coming back into the open market anytime soon. And that, for all shareholders, is a good thing because it tightens the supply of loose floating paper out there. And that means any kind of good news from Carnival, whether they got good news from Princess, Holland America, Cunard, any of the cruise lines they have, any good news, there might be some buying interest coming into the stock. People will be chasing fewer shares available easily to get at these levels here, and that could move the market up 10 or 15% in price. All shareholders will be happy with that. So that might be the plan. I don't know. We'll see how this all works out. Patrick, what are your thoughts on the convoy in Ottawa? I have no thoughts on the convoy in Ottawa. MG off topic, Spire current report filing. I heard. Jardin on the April transatlantic, the wonder of the seas. Why not go to Europe that way? You see, and there's always good thoughts. We're kind of thinking about it, but Jen is not too crazy about doing a transatlantic 13-day crossing, nowhere to get off. So I think it's easier to convince her to fly over, and then we'll figure it out from there. I'm thinking. Nikki, greetings from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's 78 Fahrenheit. It's 419 here in the afternoon, or it must be AM. Let me think a minute. It's now 5:23 p.m. where I am. It's got to be four. Is it really? You can't be 4 o'clock at that. You can't be 4 o'clock. Is that really true, Nikki? Because if you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and Hawaii is like 4 hours behind me, that's got to be 1:23 Hawaii time. I'm not getting something. Nikki, are you sure it's 4:19? Because where I am, it's 5:24. New York, it's 8:24. And if you're in the middle of the Pacific, you've got to be way behind us, unless you are way south of us and something somewhere is not working for me. But that might be my problem, more me than you. Louise, do you know if Diamond Dave got his free cruise on Princess? I know he's learning cooking and showing us things he can cook. I have no idea, Louise. I have no idea. I don't know anything about Dave's travels and what he's up to and what's going on. I do not know. I know that an hour ago, I was on the air on this channel, but only for the sponsor members of this channel, because every Monday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time, it's 1 hour with sponsor members, and that would be Nikki and Louise and some of the other folks you've seen here already. They have a little logo beside their name. They're sponsor members of this channel. Anyway, from 7 to 8, we were talking, and Nikki is on the Viking Orion cruise ship that left Los Angeles for 33 days and went over to Bora Bora and is now working her way back across the Pacific back to Los Angeles. And so she's been talking to us from her cruise ship way out in the Pacific. Absolutely fabulous. And I was just curious if Bora Bora, wouldn't Bora Bora be about 8 hours behind me being on the, I'm in California. Here we go. And Louise, yeah, Diamond Dave can cook now. Princess Sally is okay with that too. Right on. Princess Sally. So I'm waiting for Nikki to kind of respond to me. Is it really 4:19 p.m. where you are? Or are you, I don't think it's 4:19 a.m. because that would be 12 hours. Well, for me, 12 hours forward. That would be way into Europe, into the Mid East. So that can't be true. So, but she could well be right. I'm trying to figure this out. Jeff, end of March, I'm flying to Puerto Rico. Going on the Epic for 7 days to Southern Caribbean. I can't wait. Right on, Jeff. Nikki, we're on Honolulu time right now. We're in Honolulu time right now. That is what's going on. Gotcha. And let me just see something here. And Honolulu. What time is it in Honolulu? Well, Honolulu is 3:26 p.m. 3:26 p.m. Honolulu time. It's 5:26 p.m. here in California. So 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4:26 p.m. over there. There you have it. I had no idea. What I learn every day. John Weir, Bruce, I'm going to get a globe with time zones for Christmas next year. I don't look at a globe all the time. I'm just looking at this computer going, what time is it where you are? That's it. Yeah, indeed. I know that if I was in Calgary, it would be 6:27 now. And I can imagine that 4:20, 2 hours earlier, but I would be surprised that you're as close as you are, but you're steaming into LA. So I can understand that, I suppose. But yeah, Honolulu is definitely 3:26 right now. And over in, I'm going to ask in Bora Bora. Let's see here. Bora Bora. Let's see if that works on my, I'm doing Google questions. 3:27 p.m. in Bora Bora. So there you go, Bora Bora, French Tahiti. See, those are wide time zones. I guess those are really big, wide time zones. Interesting how this works. I'm the last to know. Very, very good. Very, very good. Louise, Dave got COVID on the Diamond Princess cruise ship and just survived. How about that? The Diamond Princess, the famous ship stuck in Yokohama, Japan. Remember that? That is going to be 2 years ago. Right about not far from now, just right around now, 2 years ago. That cruise ship had the breakout of COVID in Tokyo. Do you remember that? Remember that episode? How that ship was held up there and no one was allowed off the ship. And oh my gosh, it was such a what to do, how to handle it. We didn't know. Unbelievable. There was no treatment available per se, and people passed away in Tokyo from the disease. Absolutely terrifying and incredible. Just an incredible time back then, wasn't it? Really, really something unbelievable. Oh my gosh, I don't know, kids. We're going to find out going forward what are the COVID rules going to be like as we move on now, the next month, the next 2 months, the 3 months from now. Is this going to become sort of one of those things where we will accept the fact in our minds that this disease, this virus, is going to be among us for many, many, many years, and that from time to time we might catch it? The hope is, we cross our fingers, that this virus mutates to a point where it becomes a really bad flu or a cold, and doesn't become a killer. Rather than ramping up and being a death sentence, it becomes a diluted, milder problem, and that booster shots will keep it at bay. Is that the future of this thing? I don't know. All I want to know is, can we go on a cruise? Can I go on a cruise? Can I travel with Jennifer anywhere in the world? And if we're vaccinated, are we okay to enter countries, or are we going to be subjected to all kinds of local quarantine protocols that just make it impossible to want to come there? I mean, all these kinds of questions. All this sort. Is the Diamond Princess sailing right now? This is a good question. Let me take a look. If I go like this and like this, I can look it up for you. And let's just see what's going on. Where is Diamond Princess? The Diamond Princess cruise ship right now is currently located in the Mediterranean. And the ship right now is near Marseille. It's en route to apparently Marseille. We are showing it here. We're showing it in Marseille right now. Marseille in France. That's where the ship is right now. The Diamond Princess in Marseille, France. So, yep, it is sailing right now. Donnell, it's 1:29 a.m. GMT now in Western Europe. Happy to be in the house. Hi, all. Donnell, I'm glad you're safe and sound, warm as a pound. Safe and sound as a pound. Rico, number 55. I'm thumbs up number 55. Rico is here. Have a great night, all. Thank you, my friend. Have a good one yourself. I don't know what that person's saying. Louise, no, you can't go on a cruise. Check with me later, sweetie. There you go. There you are. Ships are in the water. There's no doubt about that. Ships are sailing all over the place. Itineraries are completely different than they were going to be. Obviously, we've had many a change in the cruise ship business. A lot of you folks who had cruises booked years ago, and you thought you were going to be on a ship at this area, that area, not at all near that place at all. Ships have been completely rerouted, moved elsewhere, and cancellations galore. And it has been a logistical nightmare for the cruise lines to figure out, how to get their cruise ships staffed, how to keep passengers healthy, supplies, and inflationary issues, and on it goes. And then so many ports of call are not available for cruise ships, depending on some Caribbean countries and so on. It is crazy. So there have been a lot of logistics that have had to been overcome by cruise lines in the last obviously year or so now. I think we started sailing, wasn't it? We started sailing last summer, wasn't it? When we began to restart the whole thing, it had been quite some time. I remember back in at the beginning of this whole thing with the Diamond Princess and everybody shutting down. I was predicting that it would be it might be 2 years before we get back to sailing again, that we might not sail until 2022. And we did sail late 2021, but it was very limited and very spotty. Obviously, how many cruises have you folks are aware of on your own, but through friends and relatives and just viewers of this channel? How many of you noticed how cruises have just been canceled right out, at the last minute, or with a month to go, 2 months to go? And then, of course, the changes that have come where you're supposed to start from here and go to there, and the itinerary is completely different by the time the cruise actually happens. We've had so many unpredictable changes, and it's been so difficult, a time. But we are attempting to make it, folks. We're trying to get by. We're trying to work it out. I don't know. You got to just kind of, tighten up the belt and just keep on going and don't worry about it. I'm just noticing an announcement coming out of Norway that North Americans can now cruise to Norway with a negative COVID test. Hurtigruten, the cruise line there, is celebrating the reopening of Norway as the country will no longer require North Americans to quarantine for 10 days upon arrival. Effective January the 26th, 5 days ago, the government announced in Norway the removal of the restrictions that had been in place for 2 years. Following the announcement, North Americans can now travel to Norway as long as they present a negative COVID test taken 24 hours prior to departing for the country, complete an entry pre-registration form, as well as be tested upon their arrival, either at the airport or within the first 24 hours. So that is good news for travelers who want to go to Norway, obviously, because that is one gorgeous place to take a cruise, obviously. So yes, good news there. Celebrity Infinity restarts in the Caribbean in the summer of 2022 is another headline that's coming out. Passengers will be able to enjoy unique culinary offerings and wellness amenities while visiting ports and destinations in the sunny Caribbean. Home porting in Fort Lauderdale beginning June the 25th of this year. Infinity is due to embark on alternating 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean round-trip itinerary. So that will be nice. So Infinity will join the sister ship Celebrity Equinox, which is which will be the first time Celebrity will have 2 Caribbean deployed liners with full summer season departures from Florida. Interesting how that is coming together. And what else is going on? We've got what else is happening here? We did notice here on the 30th of January, Royal Caribbean cancels 2 Quantum of the Seas cruises from Singapore due to crew COVID outbreak. There you go. Royal Caribbean canceled 2 cruises to nowhere due to crew COVID outbreak. The move will affect clients who have bought tickets to sail on the Quantum of the Seas on Monday, January 31 and Thursday, Feb 3rd. And the company had first announced the cancellations in emails to affect cruisers on Sunday morning, said the small number of crew members had tested positive for COVID. So the battle rages on, my friends. It is an absolute nonstop worldwide event. And what are you going to do? It is just one of those things. The COVID is everywhere. And there's just no escaping it. It is just part of our world now, and we're seeing these announcements from time to time where this all happens. John Weir says, Bruce, last time I was in Australia, I spent St. Patrick's Day, amber green beer, and arrived LA on St. Pat's Day morning with many green beers. Stephen Butler, tuning in late from Arkansas right now. I'm going to get cold. It's going to get cold again and snow in a couple of days down here. It snows, it melts, it snows again, it melts. Third snow in about as many weeks, and they say climate change isn't happening. That's crazy. That's the opposite of hot is cold. That's amazing. Eddie Albert, last cruise I had was October 2021, canceled. 2/6/22 next week. Have cruise in October. We'll see what happens. Isn't that something, Eddie? Those cancellations are so frustrating because there's not a darn thing you can do about it. And to make alternate plans are next to impossible. Last minute sometimes. It is a frustrating experience. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. My goodness gracious. Yeah, we've got lots of things happening. Apparently, the Mardi Gras ship, the Carnival Mardi Gras, has now celebrated its first 6 months of service. They started sailing in July of 2021. They have now welcomed 110,000 guests so far on the ship, and they're happy about that. Of course, it's powered by liquefied natural gas, and it has a roller coaster at sea. They've had over 30,000 roller coaster rides so far, and they're all excited about that. The next ship will be coming up. The Carnival Celebration will be the next one to arrive in the fall in Port of Miami, and the third XL ship, known as the Carnival Jubilee, will begin in Galveston in the fall of 2023, and will feature unique aspects as well. So things are happening with that class of ship for Norwegian. They're all excited about that. and obviously we are hopeful that as things normalize for the cruise lines, of course, they're hoping that they can at least bring more passengers on board these ships. That would be nice. In the meantime, over at Crystal Cruise Lines, I was talking to you guys last week about how the Crystal Symphony cruise ship. You remember that one? It was supposed to go to Miami, and at the last minute, it diverted its routing to Bimini in the Bahamas, and they offloaded their passengers the day after they got there. And then they arranged to get their passengers to Miami to finish their trips because the ship was not going to Miami. If it gets to Miami, the ship will be seized by marshals by court order. And all three ocean going Crystal ships are now avoiding the United States of America because there are claims of about $4.2 million against the ships now from a fuel supplier. And the ships know, the owners of the ships know, if they return to the U.S., they will be seized by marshals, and the ships could be put up for auction very quickly and be gone. And when you sell a ship under a court auction, quick, you don't get top dollar for that ship. So Crystal Cruise Lines at the moment is not operating, and Genting, that owns Crystal Cruises, they're going through bankruptcy procedures. My hunch is that the group that is the receivership company that will handle the liquidation of all of Genting's assets, they are probably into deep discussions with a number of potential buyers for Crystal's ships. And one of the prerequisites to buy that cruise line is that the receiver is going to have to pay off the fuel bill that is outstanding against those ships, so that those ships will remain free and clear of any seizures. And whoever the new buyer is, as long as they pay the bills that those ships rack up, that cruise line will restart operations. But who knows how long this is going to take, and who knows who it'll be. And of course, where will Crystal Cruise Lines, if this cruise line restarts again as Crystal, where will Crystal be located? Right now, the home office is Los Angeles, and I'm imagining that the folks in LA have been furloughed, and some folks are maybe hoping that they'll get their jobs back when a new owner is discovered. If that's going to happen, I don't know. But it's possible that whoever buys this cruise line could be based somewhere else, geographically in another country, and maybe Crystal will rename itself. It'll be, New Crystal Cruise Lines, or it'll be a scenario where an existing cruise line will take over Crystal's ships, cancel out and close out Crystal Cruise Lines entirely, and then refurbish the ships with new paint, new floor plan work. Who knows how much work these ships need? And the ships will join another fleet of ships that already exist, and will be part of another cruise line. I don't know. We're going to find out about that, but that's the latest on Crystal over there. Eddie Princess took ownership of Discovery Princess last in the Royal class. That's right. We did talk about that earlier on this show. Stephen, I have a buddy on the Carnival Dream. I'm going to pick his brain about solo cruising. Right on. Some of the cruise lines out there do offer solo cabins where you can sail as an individual passenger. I know that Norwegian definitely has solo cabins on a number of their newer ships, and they have their own little collection of single passenger cabins with a little lobby that they have just for those folks, with snack bars and coffee machines and that type of thing. And then, of course, your cabin is specifically designed for a single passenger with your own bathroom area, your own bed, of course, and storage areas and that type of thing. And then they have special fares just for solo travelers for those solo cabins. Now, I have heard in the past stories like, for example, now this is prior to the COVID, so we're talking 2019 and 18. There was a game being played by some travel agencies out there where they knew that a certain ship, for example, would have 12 cabins that would be solo cabins. Okay. And the cruise, the travel agency would buy up every cruise for that cruise ship for, say, the winter season from, say, Miami to the Caribbean and back. And they would buy up all 12 cabins for every cruise for the entire season. Might be like a 3 month, 4 month window. Okay. And then what they would do is they would turn around and offer single supplement cruises for sale through their travel agency at a markup. They would mark them up, and the cruise lines would be paid by the travel agency for the entire whack of sailings, all paid for. All the agency would have to do is sell the cruises to individual sailors, and then provide the name and identity of the passenger to the cruise line when it was time to go. And there were certain agencies, more than one apparently, that specialized in buying up all of these cabins in a block. And so you would shop yourself. You would go and look for a cabin, and you couldn't find a cabin for sale. Or you'd find a cabin for sale, and the price would be whatever the price was quoted to you as on a .com website. And you couldn't get a better deal. The cabin would never go on sale. It would never be at a discount because they cornered the market. These guys would corner the market of brand new single cabins on these new cruise ships, and ask $100 a cruise more, $200 a cruise more money than what it cost them. And they would make a larger margin. And they would not only earn the commission from the cruise line when they bought the cabin, they then marked it up on top of that to you. And I've heard those stories. I haven't met anyone who got caught in something like that, but I've heard that. Vimo, hiya, Bruce. Way to keep it real as always. Thank you. Nice to have you here, and thank you for joining me. We have 63 of you here right now, and I want to thank all of you for coming by today and joining me. I do appreciate this. I'm going to take a quick peek and see how many thumbs ups have we been able to get today for this show. Let's take a look at the thumbs up count right now. At the moment, let's see, I got 63 thumbs ups and 63 watching right now. And the thumbs up just jumped two more, because two more, now three. We have 66 thumbs ups right now on this show. I want to say thank you for all of you out there, wherever you are around this planet. If you're able to hit the thumbs up button, it's a free thing for you to do. It doesn't cost you. 69 now. Here we go. We just had 68. Now we got 69. We have 69 of you giving us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for helping me out. If you're able to tell me what thumbs up number you are, that's one way I keep track of how many we have. Thank you, all of you, for throwing the thumbs up our way. Jennifer and I do appreciate it. I really hope to be on a cruise ship soon. I'm kind of thinking, it might be May or June or July of this year. There's a possibility that this summer, Jennifer and I might be on a Mediterranean cruise, or we might be on a river cruise, or we'll be on a UK, Scottish Isle kind of cruise. And you know what? We might be on all three different cruises. I don't know yet. Nothing's been determined. Nothing's been nailed down. Everything is evolving right now for Jennifer and I. We are getting ready to we'll spend our last month here, 4 more weeks here, and then we're going to Vegas for a 3-nighter, and then we're going to be in Calgary for a couple of months as we plot our European getaway. And I'll tell you, folks, we may well be in Europe by the middle of May, traveling throughout Europe by train and by ship, and we might be doing a 10-day Mediterranean cruise, followed by 2 weeks of travel on the continent, followed by a 10 to 14-day river cruise, perhaps, followed by some more traveling to eventually to the UK, followed by a cruise around the island. We might end up in Ireland. We don't know. And so stick around and hang out with me if you can, and we'll let you know. We'll get the camera fired up as soon as we're traveling and let you know how it all is going to work out. At the moment, we're hanging out at this dumpy little place here in Palm Desert. This is a little overhead shot here that was taken a little while ago. I found this on a real estate listing here locally. This is a shot of the Monterey Country Club that we're staying in right now. And these condos that you see here, they line the fairways of the golf course. And every once in a while, you come across a swimming pool and a hot tub that is out there. And the grounds crew for the golf course, they take really good care of all the grass, and they take care of trimming all the trees, and they clean up all the leaves and all this sort of stuff. It's constantly looked after. Here in the condo, we don't have to do anything. We see this picture almost every day in real life. We don't get a lot of wind down here. The odd windstorm, yes, but not often. The sky is fairly blue. We are in a desert, and so it's fairly dry. The mountains are around us. Absolutely heavenly. Down below our feet, underground, are aquifers that are ancient aquifers that have a ton of water. I mean, a ton and a ton of water. And here in California, they have very strict usage rules for water. You have to have low usage taps and shower heads, and the sprinklers around here, a lot of them use repurposed water. They're very careful with using the water, but it is an oasis unto itself, and it is absolutely spectacular. And we've enjoyed it very, very much. We really love it down here. And like I say, we're going to head to Vegas at the end of this month, first few days of March, and then we're in Calgary. And we're going to end up staying in a friends of ours. We have a house that we're going to babysit for friends of ours that is something like 3,600 square feet in size for the two of us. So we're going to go from a 1,600-foot condo to a 3,600-foot house for a couple of months. We're going to make sure the taps are working and the toilets are working and everything is working. And I'll be on the air from this big old house. And we're kind of looking forward to it in a way. And from there, the hope is Europe is next. That will be the next chapter of our travels. And we'd like to take you with us, and hopefully you'll join us and enjoy that. I hope that would be fantastic. Vimo, one of those thumbs ups was mine. Donnell, 71 thumbs up, Bruce. Amongst Great Danes. Hey, Uncle Bruce, crossover viewer. The family and I did the Christmas week cruise on Royal Caribbean. The crew was fantastic and made it a special week. It was good times, fantastic there. Stephen, great view of the mountains. Have you all gone up there at all? Probably a great view from up there. I got to tell you, here in the desert, there are, you can see the mountains there. That's the mountains near us. You can see these mountains in the background here. You'll see in the foreground the brown colored mountains, and in the background those sort of granite colored, bluish, covered in snow mountains. That big mountain that is more on the middle right, middle left, I should say, the middle left. That's 10,000 plus feet high. That's Mount San Jacinto, and it is got snow up there in the wintertime. And on the far right, at the very back, way back there in the distance, that's Big Bear, and that is a ski resort up there, actually. But you can drive your car up and through these brown-colored mountains in some areas. In a few areas, you can drive your car up those mountains. Here's another shot of the brown mountains that are near us. Now, those are about some of those run up to about 4,000 or 5,000 feet, and they're rarely covered in any kind of snow. It's a rarity. 1 or 2 days a year, there might be just a dusting way up there, but not much. By the time the moisture comes down here to the valley floor, it's in the 40s and the 50s. It's rain, if it even gets here, because it's so dry. But there are spots where you can drive your car through the mountain pass. And there's a spot here in the valley where there's a lookout. You can drive up, you're up about 4,000 feet, and you can park your car. You can get out with binoculars, and you can stand there and look across a good chunk of the valley. It is really cool to see that from way up there. I can see the Salton Sea from here. It is east of us and south of us. And from the pass, from that lookout, you can see the Salton Sea from there, the north end of it. Spectacular, phenomenal views on clear days. It's just beautiful, and generally it's pretty clear around here. A very, very beautiful area. Gorgeous, gorgeous place. A very interesting geological area. This area definitely is very interesting geologically. The San Andreas Fault doesn't run too far away from here. And if you dig a well on the north side of the San Andreas Fault around here in what's called desert hot springs, you bring up hot water, hot springs. If you dig a well in Palm Desert down, you'll hit water, cold water, on the southern side of the fault line. Interesting geographical thing. In the Salton Sea and all around the Salton Sea, the Earth's mantle, the core, reaches almost to the surface of the Salton Sea area. That's some of the thinnest area on the planet to reach into the hot surface, the hot temperatures underground. Very fascinating place. Really amazing. John, Bruce, go ahead and slum it and go up to Palm Springs. Thumbs up, number 1046. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for popping by today and seeing us. It's great to visit with you again this week. I look forward to seeing you next week right here from Palm Desert, California. We'll keep you posted on major events, and we'll let you know more about our travels, hopefully to Europe this spring, summer, as we hopefully will leave Calgary in May for Europe this year. And we'll let you know what we're booking and planning to do. And you never know, we might see some of you on cruise ships in the Mediterranean, or we might catch up with a couple of you guys on a river cruise in Europe, or who knows, we might catch up with you on a cruise ship circling the United Kingdom. Who's to say? You never know. Stranger things have happened. I'll tell you that right now. In the meantime, please stay safe this week. Stay healthy for me, and take care of yourselves. And I'm sure we're going to be okay. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Pat, number 77, thumbs up from Sunshine Coast, British Columbia. Enjoyed your video, and I'm looking forward to more. Thank you, Pat, very much. All of you, you take care of yourselves. We'll see you next Monday right here at 7 o'clock for sponsor members, 8 o'clock on the big show right here. And I'm looking forward to catching up with you at that time. And I'm looking for suggestions for Greece. I'm looking for all kinds of suggestions. We'll see what we do going forward. Guys, have a great week. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you next Monday night. All right, bye for now.